Welcome to 5-Star Weekly. Is this what a win feels like? Wow. Can we do it again, though? Getting all that and more coming up. Before we get into it, become part of the notification squad by hitting the bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube. Welcome to the show, 5-Star fam. I'm AJ, and this is Michael, and we have a 3-1 win to talk about. Oh boy, I am excited that, yes, we have finally got on the board in the dub column. But yes, before we do all that, let's give some big shouts out to our loyal Patreon fam. Most notably Gavin, Jordan, Niall, Andrew, Chris, Nick, Jeff, Patrick, Tom, Brett, Colonel Ernest, and Tara. Woo, this is getting long, but we still need your guys' help, guys. Times are rough, and definitely we have ramped up our coverage. We have a lot of written things plus video as well. Drop into our Patreon in the description below and join us there if you appreciate our coverage. But let's get into this match review. And, 3 goals. I mean, we definitely... I didn't have it on the bingo card at all. It was something very much unexpected. I think I had it a draw. You weren't on the show last week, but what were your expectations going into this match?
I think a 2-1 loss or a 1-1 draw, I think, is kind of where everyone was thinking this was going to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's fair. It's kind of been the norm, at least, or sometimes, unfortunately, worse. But, yes, we scored first, we scored often, and we also scored the last one. And so, yes, or not the last one, actually. That's the lie. But we did score with a number of different players, and Miggy got all 3 assists. And yeah, that's just something that hasn't been done in quite a minute. But Miggy, with the hat trick of assists, is now the club leader in history for assists, usurping Brooks Lennon. So definitely, it's an incredible game in a lot of respects. But yeah, I mean, going into the match, you saw a different kind of midfield a little bit with Muyamba as the base of that midfield, with Sanchez, with also Matias Galarza as the new boy got a full run out, and the DPs were all up top. And yeah, I mean, it seems like there is some continuity with them now, even though, last year, yeah, you saw maybe a little bit of them playing together, but, finally, I think some matches kind of played back to back. I think you're starting to see, kind of a little bit of the fruits of the labor. Stian Gregerson played in place of Juan Barracal, who was injured, and, you had Tomas Jacob as well as that right back again. So, a kind of changed 11, but as far as what we were expecting, I mean, it's a side against the Philadelphia Union that were really in a tough stretch with the Champions Cup that they had been playing, basically affecting their early season run. I think we were able to take advantage of it. But, how did you find the match on a whole?
I can't just I have to hit this in segments. So, because there's a lot to talk about this game. And it's not just the fact that I'm hyped that we won. There's a lot to break down. So starting in the back, talking about Lucas Hoyos, that was a little bit of a concerning performance. Still not exactly the most stable goalkeeper we've seen between the sticks, but that wasn't that big of a deal this game, luckily. Stian Gregerson, you said, was in replace for Juan Barracal. I think that was night and day. Having a release valve like him in the back, stopping things, being very active, dynamic, and trying to do things with the ball that perhaps Juan Barracal wasn't really able to do, I think made a huge difference. That, and also, not exactly in the back line per se, but Thomas Jacob, up and down the field, he was everywhere. he was assisting, he was scoring, he was getting back and doing the defensive responsibilities too. He was getting stuck in. He was pushing guys around. He wasn't getting bullied. He bodied a guy at one point, almost as bad as Atl Utd got bodied at one point from one of their center backs who just completely trucked him. That was rough to watch. Now for our midfield, looks completely different. Sanchez has that mobility, that speed. He was up and down. He had an incredible cross at one point that was off of Jakob's head and almost in the net. They missed it by a little bit. You could tell at that moment Jakob was really gunning for a goal. He felt like it was in his grasp, and yes, he eventually does get one later in the game. Seeing that kind of fire, that enthusiasm, it's been rare for Atlanta United, and now seeing that with him, I mean, he's going to be the through line for me this season. Can he maintain and keep that positive attitude? Because if he can, that is going to elevate the entire mental state of the whole team, and it's going to drive them and create a culture and create a togetherness and camaraderie that we just haven't seen. And that's just going to elevate this team to new levels. Hopefully that's what happens. That's going to be my main story to keep an eye on throughout the season. The attack, I think, worked because of players like Tomas, players like specifically Galarza, and players stepping up like Tristan, and even Baez too. I've seen so much interplay last game, so much link-up play between Miguel, Baez, and Galarza. It was ridiculous. I saw back heel after back heel passes. I saw nutmegs. I saw these guys playing with flair. It was like, they were out there enjoying themselves. They were feeling themselves. We haven't seen us play like that in a while with swagger. It was great to see. These guys look like they're having a good time, dinging the ball around. And then they would get into open spaces because of their one-touch passing that we've been calling for forever. There's multiple one-touch passes in this game that happened that completely opened up Philadelphia. And Atl was part of it too. Maranchuk a little bit as well, which is great. It was a completely different team that came out there and played. And then we also have to interject, though, that Philadelphia is in dire straits, like you said. But we really put them to the sword, which, is what you need to do against teams like that. The only real caveat about all of this is, to be a Debbie Downer for a moment, is that Philadelphia wasn't really able to hurt us and do the things that perhaps they should have. Their underlying numbers coming into this game gave me pause and made me worried that perhaps they were going to have a breakout game against us if we weren't able to kind of be clinical. They were not really able to be clinical, and then we were able to put them on the back heel by scoring the first goal. There was plenty of opportunities for them to have scored the first goal. Yep. There was plenty of opportunities for them to have scored in general. This game could have ended 3-2 or something like that. So I'm interested to see how Atlanta United responds after getting punched in the face, maybe repeatedly, by perhaps even a better team, if they can still try and claw their way back. This game, they just ran away with it because Philly just had no answers. It'll be interesting to see what they can do when, the shoe's on the other foot and then they're trying to get back into a game. Right. But yeah, we'll stop there because that's a lot.
Right. And some really, really great points. Exactly. Because Philly, they, raw numbers wise, were in this game. They were just not as clinical as we were. And ultimately, us being able to see the back of the net ripple, we were able to play with more freedom. We were able to play with more confidence. And like you were saying, with the back heels, with the flair that we haven't seen for some time. Because, yes, once you are able to, have a little bit of that breathing room, you're able to kind of be yourself, kind of let, the aspects of your game kind of let loose a little bit. And yeah, obviously we haven't seen that in months. I kind of buried the lead here. We haven't won a home match in 290 games, or 290 days rather. 90 games would be crazy. But that's an insanely long time. Basically, since May 28th of 2025 is when we last saw a home match win. And I mean, even before the match, I took a bet that first rounds on me if Atl United lose, and I gladly cashed in on that drink because it tasted so good. It was exactly what the doctor ordered, and as they say, fill it out for me, Mike. As they say, Dr. Philly, right?
Yeah, Dr. Philly. Yeah, the Dr. Dupe came
Dr.
calling,
Dupe.
right? So,
Exactly.
but yeah, I did not make that bet with you.
Yeah, you did.
Just to put that out there, that was some other unfortunate soul.
Exactly. But yes, as far as the goals themselves, I mean, did you have a favorite as far as I mean, there are some quite good ones because there's a lot of interplay, there's a lot of combination play in almost all three of them, really.
Let's see. Oh yeah, we also didn't even talk about the penalty kick, the penalty shouts, which were 2 of them.
There were. We'll get there. There's a lot to go through.
Yeah.
But yes, the goals. I mean, yeah. So you had Emmanuel Lat's goal. You had Jakob's goal, and then you had Moranchuk's. I mean, go ahead.
Lat's goal is obviously reminiscent of a Jose Martina-esque, 2018-esque, Tata Martino team style goal, and that's what you want to see. You want to see that when you get in a position to counterattack, you're lethal with it. Yep. We looked lethal, and it scared Philadelphia. They were afraid to come out more because of that. And good, then we can maybe perhaps pin them back and score some more goals. Yeah, that goal was. I mean, that's systematic. That's a mentality, and that's something that's repeatable. That if we play like that, Miguel finds a through ball to Lat. That was incredible. That vision to hit that. Miguel just looking like a completely renewed player. So it was exciting to see him be able to just absolutely command this game. Yeah, the other goals were great too, because a lot of that was team goal play. A lot of the build up in those to get the ball to the final third to then score a goal was immaculate. It was wonderful. Like I said, one touch passing. It was people being on the same page. It was through balls being properly weighted. It was people making the runs, expecting progressive dare I say it, protagonista, right? Kind of play. Like it was exactly what you would expect from, and what we were kind of promised from this Atlanta United team when we first started out with Tata Martino and even kind of Miguel Almiron a little bit, but when Miguel and Lat came in, because it was that dynamic, fast, counterattacking style that was supposed to be there. So we're starting to see it now, and it's exciting.
Yeah, look at you using Spanish words. Look at that.
I learned from the best, Tata Martino.
Exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, it is that too. I think there's a natural ability from the left for Miguel Almiron to play instinctually instead of maybe overthinking to a degree. And I think that's really what's aided this, as well as him being on his natural left-hand side. And I think that's what's kind of interesting is that, usually you want a little bit more balance from the lines because, Baez left-footed, Galarza left-footed, and Mickey also left-footed. But I think it allows them to play a little bit, like I said, with instinct. And that has allowed us to play faster. And maybe that extra touch isn't taken. We actually are hitting it first time, or playing it into the space and seeing what happens. And right now, especially in this match, it allowed us to play a lot faster instead of having to eventually recycle it back. And this is something that's if we can continue to do a lot more, and then especially still on that right side, say because of Tomas Jakob hitting and crashing that back post, and doing something that a lot of the other players that used to play on that side did not do. I think that's going to allow us to really stretch teams. They're going to have to look over their shoulder, and it's going to allow more space for other players that are dangerous through the middle But as far as the Moranchuk goal, it's something that's with the hold-up play that Atl Utd was able to do, be in traffic, hold off 2 players, able to find Miggy, and Miggy was able to, in traffic, pretty much nutmeg a guy to find Moranchuk, and then where he basically, all he had to do was tap it in with his weak foot, nonetheless. I mean, it's not exactly the hardest goal to connect with, but even on the weak foot, he made a good run. I mean, it was just all in all, like, those type of goals that's, yes, that verticalidad that Tata Martino is known for. We absolutely were doing it to the T, and these are those repeatable type of goals that
exactly
we've been harping on.
And like, think of it like this too. Galarza was crashing the far post in that Moranchuk goal. If Moranchuk shot it and the goal and Andre Blake coughed up a rebound, Galarza would have been right there to pounce on it. He was just coming in hot as a late runner. Like, we don't see that. That doesn't happen with Atlanta United.
Runners?
Seeing Galarza having that coming, like, just having that, I have that extra, mile in the gas tank. I'm just going to push it to there and hope, maybe something happens. Luckily, he didn't have to do that, but that was incredible for me to see. It shows me that this guy's got fire in him and is looking to try and even score, So that's exciting. Seeing, like you said, multiple people trying to score this game. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about Baez for a second. He had a really interesting opportunity. Unfortunately, he was also the guy who did
he had a
PK
mixed game
earlier.
Right.
Yeah, he had a. But like, there's a play that happens. Jakob hits a great pass to Atl Utd, who then one touches it to Moranchuk, who then instantly smashes it with a switch across the field to Miguel Almiron, who then slots a through ball to an overlapping run to Baez, who takes a crack at it and almost scores. That is a great play. I mean, from start to finish, that kind of vision, that kind of ability to play seamlessly and quickly, almost like no look passing. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. He knew Baez was making the run before that ball even got to him and just switched it right to him. We didn't see a lot of big switches in the past. Moranchuk, we know, can do that. So hopefully that's something we see from him again.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's that play, again, that's knowing where your teammates are and playing it quickly. That's how you unlock a side. That's how you play that type of football. That's you get a lot of chances, because if you're always just going up against a team that's settled in, they have all 11 men behind the ball, possibly even, because sometimes especially at home, they just let us have the ball because they know that we won't do anything with it. And I think in this instance and in this match, we were able to play quickly, one touch, have movement, have runners, and they were rewarded. And may it continue, because this is how you score goals. This is how you excite the crowd. This is how you energize, the home team and the home fans. Because this has been kind of exactly what's missing. But I think the main thing here is it is also Miguel Almiron won't get a hat trick of assists every single match. Let's just be real. And so, how do we continue to do this while spreading the goals around and making sure that other players are also being incisive with their passing, being just positive, running, and just making sure that, okay, I may not get the ball, I may not get it at the back post, but I'm being there just in case. And I think the more that we can do that and mitigate those mistakes at the back, I think we'll be able to, win more games. Because yes, there was a penalty shout. There was there was one that's more than a shout. There was a penalty kick by Philly, and yeah, Elias Baez, he puts a hand on someone's head in the box. It's like, yeah, we didn't
elbowed him in the back of the head.
Yeah,
you don't do that.
Yeah, like we didn't see that in the stadium like that. Like we didn't really have the best angle. Once I saw the replay, yeah, I mean, I'm surprised he's still on the pitch, to be honest. It's just like that's, whoo, that's not wise, and shows a little bit, I mean, maybe a little bit, a bit of an experience of rashness, and he's really got to curb that because, yeah, I mean, Amador, he's hot on his heels in terms of, he's been working hard this offseason, trying to make sure that, he's at least in the shop window, if not, doing better than Baez because, yeah, competition for places, again, really, really good to have. But, Hoyos did jump the right way or dive the right way as far as to his right for the penalty kick, but it did hit the post mercifully, and unfortunately there was a goal for Philly, and it was just really well worked. I mean, super cross to the back post, and they were able to head it down, and on the volley, Philly were able to score in the 6-yard box. I mean, I don't think anything Hoyos could have done about this. So, it's yes, he also didn't maybe have probably the most secure match for everybody's liking, but and he was absolutely pissed once Philly scored. He wanted that clean sheet. You could see it the way he kicked that ball into the back of the net after they had scored. Mm-hmm. He kicked it twice, pretty much. He was absolutely livid, and because I think he can probably see the tea leaves as well. That yes, people are not happy with the general play. That there have been a lot of goals, but I think there have been a lot of haters on Hoyos in this very early run in. He ain't my favorite, but I have mentioned in a lot of our episodes, whether it's the fan cams or 5 Sharp Weekly, I can see why Tato wants to stick with him. Because, yes, does Jaden Hibbert have the ability to wait until the last second to essentially hold on to the ball and essentially create that space in the back so that later on for you, for your build-up play, you have more space to actually play into. I mean, Hibbert has to kind of learn how to do that, how to be calm to do that in the back. And yes, the shot stopping leaves a little bit to be desired. The command of the box leaves a little bit to be desired, but I think he did well enough in this match while being peppered in the goal. Like, he did enough of what he had to do here. He made the saves that he needed to make. I think it's because he did make a save with his left hand that was pretty much at and going, like, arrowing towards that top right corner. Mm-hmm. And he was able to make it. I think it's this, it's like we probably should give him 10 games and really see if it starts to really become a glaring issue where, oh man, like, every aspect of his game questionable. Okay, but I think he redeemed himself in this match. Any thoughts on Hoyos?
Like I said, he was a little insecure on the ball. His distribution looked okay. It wasn't great. There was a lot of times he just pinged it to Philly players. It wasn't as much of a gaffe as previous games, so it's going in the right direction. If he can just get more sure of himself and command the box a little bit better, and not make any obvious mistakes, I think people will largely start to forget to complain about him, especially if we're winning. So I hope that that's kind of the way it goes, if that's what Tata Martino wants, and Hibbert doesn't really factor into things. I think that's probably the best scenario. I don't want Hoyos to crash out and need Hibbert. I'd rather just Hibbert win it authentically, and not have Hoyos go into the gutter. So we'll see what happens ultimately. But yeah, that ideally, I think that would be what should happen.
Right. And to also Tata Martino's credit here, he made the changes and stuck with some players that he felt like could win this match, and he deserves the credit for making the calls as far as for the starting 11, and the substitutions as well in this match that ultimately saw us, kind of see it out to.
Oh, you mean the substitution where they take out Galarza, put in Alzate, and almost immediately after Philadelphia scores because we lose the midfield? No, I'm just kidding. It's a bit of a conspiracy theory.
Right.
Obviously, game state and a lot of other things were dictating what was happening at that point.
Yes.
Philadelphia was throwing the sink at us at that point, which is totally normal, and we're getting tired because Tata Martino's system demands sacrifice, and the team is exhausted.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's Galarza's first start. Like, we're not going to run him into the ground. Like, we need more energy. We need fresher legs at that point. I mean, that's just a symptom of Alzate not being ready in the match per se, whatever the term is there for it. Basically, being kind of
prepared.
Well, it's maybe not prepared. Man, I don't know why the word's escaping me, but basically, once you come on, you're not really in the state of the match quite yet. You have to get a little bit warmed up into it.
He needs to acclimate to the game speed, right?
Right, game speed. There we go. So, I think maybe there could have been a mistake there as far as someone that wasn't game speed, but I mean, it's someone that is very much experienced, and I think we do have a glut of midfielders because, with Jay Fortune also getting 45 minutes with the twos this past weekend, we have 5 midfielders essentially, like straight up central midfielders to choose from, and that's quite a bit, to be honest. And without one clear-cut type of defensive midfielder, it's going to really be interesting because, okay, are we going to always play with 3 central midfielders? I mean, that's like Barcelona type stuff essentially. Just sometimes at some points of Barcelona, they just played with like 5 or 6 central midfielders, and really were able to just control matches. And it probably won't be quite like that, and not that we're comparing ourselves to Barcelona, but with that kind of pedigree of Tata Martino having coached there, maybe he's seeing some inefficiencies in MLS and things that he can kind of take advantage of. So we'll see. But
yeah, like having like a player like Busquets and having a player like Darlington Nagbe in the defensive midfield, and just being able to boss the entire field from there, like, and play out the back as much as you want, and being very safe, and finding passes that normally you shouldn't find. Yeah, he was spoiled with those 2 types of players in those positions, and hopefully we can find someone like that, to fit that role here. And we have some candidates which have done decently so far.
Yeah, and so we'll see about the midfield in future games, but yes, let's kind of wrap up this match. But basically, Miguel Almiron, he scored his first goal of the season and got his first assist in the 2026 season. Tomas Jacob scored his first goal for the club, and of course, Miggy got 3 assists, 38 total assists in all competitions for Atlanta United. But so Atl United will play DC United, and we will have that match preview later on for you in this episode. But let's get into the news, and with those good performances, Megi, Tomas Jakob, and Emmanuel Atl made the team of the match day, and Atl made that bench. But yeah, definitely really well deserved for both of them as far as I mean, I think from an attacking standpoint, and Jakob as well from a defensive standpoint as well. But yeah, and
attacking, defensive, midfield, Jakob had it all. He was doing everything. Guy had an 8.3 on SofaScore. He was killing it that game.
Absolutely, and that's really what you want to see is, he's got boundless energy, and he's a unit as well. I mean, basically, it's really just about, because last match he was burned for pace by a player from Real Salt Lake, but I think large in parts he's got enough to handle it. It's just more about his positioning, his defensive awareness, and it's something. He's still a young player. He's learning, and so if he can make sure that he's not caught out at some points, I think he's got enough to be able to recover. But let's get to a bit of news from Botafogo and their payments. Soccer with Doug tweeted out that Atl United are due a payment, and that Botafogo, if they miss it, the MLS team will pretty much protect itself and can receive funds from other streams. So fascinating in itself. But it's a saga that, I mean, let's be real. Does Arthur Blank really need that money? No, but it is like, to a degree, it's like a mob boss to a point now. It's like, yeah, where's my money? And if you don't have it, we're gonna have to do something about it. And stick Stewie on him or something with a flamethrower. But where's John Texter when for that? But and another bit of news is that the U.S. or U17 national team are back in action and head to Paraguay for the March camp. And one of our own, goalkeeper James Donaldson, makes the roster. He's a teenager. I mean, it's incredible stuff that he's
the prodigy goalkeeper that we got.
Exactly. And so if it's not Hibbert, I mean, this kid is really hot on his heels. But with the Twos, moving on to that, they earned a 4-1 victory over Huntsville City FC, and Cameron Dunbar tallied 2 assists, and Liam Butts scored his first 2 goals for the Twos, his 19th and 20th goals in his MLS Next Pro career. But yes, like aforementioned, Jay Fortune got a start, got 45 minutes, and also Tristan Muyumba was seen supporting his homie. So definitely really good signs of camaraderie and just brotherhood amongst the squad. So that used to happen a lot, where LGP and a lot of the South Americans would go and watch the Twos, and it would be just like this the support system that was really endearing. And so that's really something that you want to be able to see more of. So but any thoughts on all that?
Yeah, so I did read a little bit about that Twos game. I did see that oh my god, I'm blank on his name, but the guy who plays on the wing for us sometimes,
Luke Brennan. There we go.
Luke Brennan. Yeah, I got it. Luke Brennan, he was instrumental in some of the goals, and also Dominic Chanqui as well. So, guys who have played for the first team were putting up numbers and really being decisive in that game, which is great to see, for, them making arguments for doing those temporary contracts for the first team if and when the time comes. And US Open Cup is coming up, so it probably will come.
That's fair. That's hopefully they do get the call ups, and yeah, it's gonna be something that will be just hopefully well deserved in some respects. Where Brennan, he was getting a lot of minutes in the preseason, but ultimately, he hasn't really seen that much time for the first team squad. But hopefully it is in some respect. Yeah, it's like he's gonna kill it there, and then hopefully prove to Tata that it's something that he can get more minutes, but he'll have to usurp. Go ahead.
Yeah, one more thing is we've been really critical of Tristan Mayumba over the last season, and maybe more. And I believe rightfully so. However, over the last game or two, maybe even three, I think the last two I can say very confidently, Tristan has shown a little bit of a different side to him. I think a little bit more of finding a role as mentor and leader, and I think he's stepping more into that, and he's seeming to be more, it's like he lacked this like glue component to him last couple seasons, where it seemed like he was disinterested, almost wanted out of the team. I mean, those types of results may do that to you, but this season things seem to be a little different. He seems to care. He seems to want to bring the team together, seems to be in the middle of a lot of those kind of camaraderie moments with the team. And this, coming to the twos and seeing Jay Fortune, I mean, I think that's huge. More players who have been weak links in this area in the past, coming back as kind of, leaders in this regard. I mean, that's massive. That turns a weakness into a strength. And that was one of our biggest issues in the past. We have more of that going on. That really, on top of what we said about, Thomas Jakob, like, people, they're building something here. It seems like they're building a culture here. And hopefully that can manifest in a string of really good results that bring this team some, much needed joy.
It's well said. Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that has been missing from this squad for quite some time, and it's that too, where yes, Muyumba has been more safe, more kind of reliable on the ball, and I think that's been kind of missing part of his game, where it just really seemed like, okay, can you trust him in the middle of the park, where like he would basically kind of lose the ball in really, really dangerous areas, and that became a massive problem for us when we already were shipping goals left and right already, and that just didn't help matters. So yes, absolutely, he deserves the plaudits for I think finding some sort of ability to kind of turn back the clock a little bit, which hopefully it continues, because yeah, we absolutely need it. We do need some sort of semblance of a defensive midfielder. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure we can do it for every single match where he is the guy that's sitting, but we'll see. But yes, that does it for the news, and it gets us to the mailbag. You guys send in these questions through IG story and Discord. Please continue to do so, and we might answer your question in the future. But first question comes from, let's see. Billy Gluckman says, what are your top 10 reasons why Hoyos should continue starting? Top 10. That's so many. I don't know if I can get to 10, but I think I mentioned quite a number of them earlier. So you guys can, watch it back if you missed it. But yes, I think the main thing is that Tata wants him there. So that's number one. And if Tata wants him there, who are we to fight him? Who are we? But you want to give a reason?
That's the best reason. He's a pretty average goalkeeper outside of that. So there is not 10 reasons for why he should be starting.
Yep.
And that is just painfully obvious.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I wish there were. I wish there were 10 reasons why he should be starting. So maybe he'll get there.
Indeed. Next question comes from Fender. The three DPs looked complementary to each other on Saturday. Did I hit my head? Not sure you hit your head, but I think we all had our minds blown a little bit. So, but I think as far as that continuity together, they haven't really played that many matches together, to be honest. It's as far as them getting a whole run out in preseason, didn't really happen. Last season, very stop-start, and a lot of Latte Lat not being in the 11 because of probably just, him not being match fit, and, Tiare being the guy instead. Yeah, there just wasn't really a ton of chemistry between Miggy and Marianchuk, kind of when they were playing with Tiare in that sense. So, it's that's kind of the larger issue, but we're seeing signs of life, and that is huge.
And I think the recipe for the success in this game came parts Galarza in the midfield, and just our defense in general, being able to really get the ball out of the back, and in a very fast and dynamic way that really unsettled Philadelphia. And the second part of this recipe is that Philadelphia just wasn't able to respond very well. They really weren't able to handle it. And hopefully that means not a lot of teams can handle it, but we do know Philadelphia is struggling at the moment. We saw a lot of chatter between them. If you watch their body language and how they talk to each other on the field, if you're a Philadelphia fan, you'd be very nervous right now, because they all seem to be very angry at each other when they would make mistakes. That's never a good sign for a team. So those two parts, I really think, had a lot to do with this. We're going to see, like I said, what happens when this team goes up against a good team and the other team does not fall apart. They know what they're doing, and they can find out where our weaknesses are in attack there. Obviously we succumb to pressure from pressing often. I think we're a little more resistant now with players like Galarza and with Stian especially, and hopefully that can kind of stem that a bit. Hopefully that'll be what we can hope to see going forward and continuing on. That would be amazing if we could see that.
Yeah, indeed. Next question comes from Homer. Tell me why it's not the craziest idea playing Stian at the 6. The greatest have played the 6 but play CB elsewhere, like Sosa. Let's unpack that slowly here.
Well, Sosa was very good on the ball. He was very tidy. Stian is like Bambi on the ball, so I wouldn't necessarily have a lot of faith in him being at the 6, honestly. Right.
And Sosa's a midfielder, and so he's naturally that. As far as Sosa in the back line, he played as kind of more splitting the two center backs and creating a 3 in the back at times. So as that sweeper in a sense, that's probably more achievable in the Argentine leagues, but in a very athletic league like MLS, yeah. Sosa, you saw his faults. Like, he's not blessed with pace, and he's maybe not always one that senses the danger as soon as a defender really could. So I'm not so sure that he could have pulled that off here. As far as Stian Gregerson as a 6, he's not a midfielder, and he needs more time on the ball. So in tight spaces, he is not able to unfortunately keep it as tidy and be as press resistant as a normal midfielder can be. I think really it's this: if you're a midfielder, you need to be really good on the ball, because that's really where there's the most amount of people, and you have to have eyes in the back of your head. You have to be able to scan very, very quickly and be able to have all the tricks. Well, maybe not all the tricks, but you need to have tricks in your bag to be able to find space, because you're not going to have space in midfield. And as a center back, you usually don't have somebody behind you, so you have a little bit more time to spread it forward and because yes, you play it to your keeper, or you play it to a center back or a fullback, and usually that's the majority of your passes. You're not trying to find a forward pass too often, unless yes, it is kind of a different type of system, and in which case you are asked to pretty much create on the ball a little bit to find your forwards, but not necessarily that type of system yet for Atl United, and Steven Gregerson not really asked to do that at the moment. But yes, happy that he is in the back line nonetheless, though, because yes, we have needed that player that can be the safety valve for us, like we've mentioned. But yes, Shiv with the hashtag start Stian Moore, doing a kind of a diagram of hamstrings and quad muscles. That yes, definitely yes is the reason why he cannot probably play midfield as well, because those things are delicate. Let's be real. But yeah, indeed. But yeah, Homer does double down, saying, yeah, but you can sub him out instead of subbing out a center back. But that's the thing. We only have 3 center backs that are out and out center backs. We have Matt Edwards that, yes, maybe can, be that kind of fourth choice. But is he an out and out center back? I wouldn't trust him playing 34, 38 matches. So yeah, I'm not sure that we should do that. But yeah, let's move on from that. Let's see. Ooh, 404 Raikos asks, what does it take, amount of wins, etc., to see a full sellout in the Benz again? Woo.
Full sellout?
Full sellout. So meaning probably the whole bowl. I would say.
I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would say playing Inter Miami. I mean, that's probably the only one probably this year. I mean,
if we get to like a cup game, maybe, but
I know.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely Inter Miami would be a good one. How many games would you expect to, would you need to sell out? Like, if you get wins, I would say, like, if you go on like a heater, 10 wins in a row at home, I think you could potentially see a good amount of people. I don't know if it's gonna sell out, but I think you'd see a significant amount of people show up, because people want to see that at that point. Like, it's very likely you're going to win the next game if you've just won 10 in a row.
Yeah.
I would say, like, okay, people are going to want to come see this win, especially if it's against, like, not a super strong opponent. People are going to want to bandwagon onto that. So I think you could potentially see 75, 80, 90% after something like that. But yeah, I think AJ's right. You'd need a celebrity / winning and having some kind of silverware on the line to really sell it out.
Man, that's crazy. 10 games in a row is what you're saying? Like, or oh man, oh my god, or just 10 games that we've won in this calendar year, this season.
That would be insane if it was. I think if it was 10 home wins in a row, I think we would sell out the 11th game.
Whew. Yeah. I hope that happens. That's so unrealistic to happen, but oh boy, yes, that'd be lovely. Yeah, and I'm just
because like the alternative is that it's just this team doesn't deserve to sell out the stadium at all this season. So it would have to be something miraculous to get it to happen.
Right. And we had 35,000, and we were still tops for MLS this past weekend. So, I mean, it don't take much in that respect for MLS, sadly, but it is also, when you were saying 10 matches won, for some reason I just thought like, it's almost like the 50s where it's like extra read all about like the newspaper like spinning, and it's like, man, 10 games won for Atlanta United. I mean, yeah, I think that would be the thing. Like, you have to have those headlines that will bring the fans back. But which, man, whew. So yeah, last question comes from It's Don Julio 70s, or 70 rather. Should Emmanuel LL Cool J's goal song be "Mama Said Knock You Out"? I like it. I like it. That's you're forcing that nickname a little bit, but you know what? I dig it. I do like that song. It does go hard. It is an underrated song, but yeah, I don't know if the kids know about it. It's all good. Like LL Cool J used to actually, he used to go hard. It used to be, one of those things. But maybe not as hard as, say, like, Tupac. But, yes, it was pretty dope nonetheless back in its time. But, all right, so that does it for the mailbag. And thank you guys for sending in those questions. Let's get into the match preview. And 7:30, March 21st, at the Benz versus DC United. It's 10th place with a -3 goal difference. That's us versus 5th place, DC United, with a 0 goal difference. So they've been having a very resurgent season from their last year. But, their last match, they played to a 2-1 win over Chicago Fire. We last played them to a 1-1 draw on October 18th, 2025. Our last 6, we've won 1, drawn 3, lost 2. But, yes, they are a pretty changed side this season. Ty Baribo has come in as a designated player after playing for the Union for a good number of years. Sylvan Hefty, Sean Johnson as well, coming over from Toronto. Kaisuke Kurokawa also has come in as a left back. Luis Montenu and also Sean Nealis as well. So, of course, Benteke is gone now. Luis Barraza, Boris Inau, Christian Fletcher, and David Schnegg have all left in the offseason. But, with their kind of 4-4-2 system that Renee Weiler has them playing, it doesn't necessarily have the pundits from their Apple TV saying that they will be doing much better. They have them pretty much finishing as high as 12th and as low as 15th. So, yes, they are overachieving right now. That's for sure. Whether they will stay in that position will be anyone's guess. But, yes, they are a very good counterattacking team. They also come back from losing positions decently this year. It's 4 games in, so this is not definitive or anything, but they also are a team that not so great at defending. So whether it's set pieces, against through balls, against skillful players, I think that's really where we can get at them, as well as aerially rather. We are able to hopefully be someone that or be a team that can, find our taller players in the box to, take advantage of that. But they don't want the ball. This is a team that will pretty much, play the long ball over the top. They will cross that ball in and, play it from the wide areas. So it's something that we will need to be weary of, very much so, because, yes, we're not blessed with pace in the back line. We really will have to be wary of that, especially if they just let us have the ball at home. And especially when it's something that, what was really effective for us last match was, a fair kind of balance of having the ball and not having the ball. And, us being able to hit them on the counter. Because, if they're just going to give us the ball, I think this is really where we're going to have to figure out how to break down a deep lying side. And it's something that this club has suffered and struggled with for a number of years. But, let's get into the match facts. Atlanta United have drawn their last 3 matches against DC United. And the Odds, according to the Bet365, 52.6% for a home win, a draw at 30.3%, and an away win at 25%. So yeah, what do you want to see from the team in this match?
Exactly what I saw last game. The exact same stuff. Like that was it. That was what we want. I mean, I mean, if I am assuming that we'd sacrifice, clean sheets and stuff in order to just get at the other team. If we win games 3-1, I'm okay with that. Because what you're asking me what I'd want to see, I'd want to see us get a clean sheet. But if that comes at a cost of not scoring 3 goals, I don't want to do that. I'd rather us win 3-1, 3-2, or tie 3-3 even, because I just, I think that just is that's more indicative of what Tata Martino wants this team to play as, and it forces the other team to answer questions like, can you be clinical enough to keep up with our output? Kind of like how LAFC just buries you in goals, and at least their teams in the past have. And Miami to a degree as well. I just want to be in that conversation, that kind of team. So that's what I would want to see. I'm okay with giving up a goal or 2 as long as we bury them in goals, 3+ a game. That's what I'd like to see again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would love to see 3 goals. I think the picture is going to look a little bit different. I feel like because of DC not wanting the ball, and that aspect is going to be really tough to contend with. So it's going to be, can we be incisive when they're camped in their box, or damn near close to it, and can we deal with essentially Typeribo being a very, very tough customer, kind of either playing on our back line, like on the heels of them, or essentially being hit on the counter with pretty much all of their players, maybe crashing our box when they do get the ball, and us being able to track back fast enough. That is going to be the question, and we will really have to see if our midfield as well can track back to help out that defense, because yes, it may not be the center backs that are chasing them back. It might have to be one of the midfielders. But that gets us to our predicted starting 11. I mean, would you change anything for this match? I mean, it might be kind of the easiest 11 to pick in recent memory, but what do you think?
Yeah, I'm a little. I'm always like, I just still can't believe Sanchez is like 17. I'm like waiting for the game where it's just like, oh, that's right, he's 17, but we haven't really seen that yet. So as long as that continues, I'm good with rolling with him. And then the starting 11 will be unchanged for me. I think they hit on something very special there. No one stood out to me as just being completely out of their depth. Hoyos was probably like the weakest one, except for, I think Baez's mistake is probably not something that'll happen again. I'm hoping not. If it does, then we need to have a conversation about him and his like maturity level. But I think he's probably good to go. So I would remain unchanged.
Yeah, and especially I think when the team gets a 3-1 win, I mean, they earn that next start. And so yes, Hoyos, Jacob, Gregerson, Mihai, Baez, and then with Muyamba, Galarza, Sanchez in that midfield, and Moranchuk, Miggy, and ELL up top. I think that's that 11. But do let us know, audience and 5-Star Fam, if you see it differently. But they're calling for Jaden Hibbert. That's what they're gonna call. Say what? That's I don't even know if that makes any sense. But yes, let's get to our score prediction. What do you think is gonna happen?
So I feel like if they start Stian Gregerson, this, I'm just gonna go out on a weird limb and go 2-2. But yeah, well, maybe I'll say if they start Stian Gregerson, it's a 2-1 win. But if they start Juan Barracall, maybe it's a 2-2 draw. I'm just gonna go with probably 2-2 draw is my guess though.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. That makes a little bit of sense. Yeah, I mean, but I think Stian Gregerson, I think will play a part here, possibly, if we decide to actually cross it in from a corner or anything like that. Because, yes, Stian Gregerson, man, you know, he's not hard to miss in the box. He is definitely, he towers over most players in this league. And so, yeah, I think there's a header for him in the box here, you know, to get one of these goals. I think it's a 2-1 win. I think we are, you know, putting a streak together. We're going streaking. Pull the Will Ferrell meme out because
Frank the Tank.
So hopefully that is the case. But what do you guys think? Let us know in those comments. But guys, that is pretty much the episode there and there, except for the question of the day. And the question of the day is, do you feel like this was a one-off or something that we can replicate? Let us know in those comments below. Looking forward to what you have to say. But guys, that is the episode. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. That's Michael. I'm AJ. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.